The key notion here is that particulate matter kills people and kills a lot of people. EPA says that particulate matter kills one out of 4 deaths in America is due to particulate matter. Now, despite the fact that I have exhaustively debunked PM2.5 and EPA, we're going to pretend for the sake of this part that EPA is correct. And I'm going to show how corrupt EPA is. Now, here's where the rubber starts to hit the road. So EPA, for a long time now, has said that any exposure to PM2.5 kills. And it can kill within hours. What really got me interested in this was in 2011, September, there was a hearing on the Hill. And Lisa Jackson, then she was the EPA administrator then. She stated, particulate matter causes premature death. It does not make you sick. It's directly causal to you dying sooner than you should. So PM doesn't even make you sick, it just kills you. And just to give you an idea of how important PM2.5 is to EPA, EPA says that the Clean Air Act provides $2 trillion worth of monetized health benefits every year. 85% of that comes from PM2.5. So this is a very important regulatory issue. Essentially, EPA has created PM2.5 as the most toxic substance known to man. There's no safe exposure, it can kill you within hours. There's no substance known to man that can do that except for PM2.5, which you're inhaling right now. This is one of the ways they would do it. They would idle a diesel truck outside their laboratory. You can see the piping. They would pipe particulate matter from the exhaust pipe into a lab, into a gas chamber. I don't know any other word for it, it's just a gas chamber. Now, I know you're laughing, it's funny, right? But remember, any exposure to PM2.5 kills people. Who is EPA putting in this chamber? Well, EPA says that the people who are going to be most vulnerable to the effects of PM2.5 are the sick and the elderly. Well, so here they're putting 70-year-olds in there, 75-year-olds. They're looking for, I highlighted here, 80-year-olds they're put in this chamber. Remember, the elderly are most vulnerable, and PM2.5 can kill you in hours. Children. Okay, I mean, we're worried about children, right? Well, what kind of children is EPA testing particulate matter on? Let's see. So they're spraying, in this case, spraying diesel exhaust up the noses of children. How old are the children? Does this shock anybody? 10 years old? And here's what EPA says. People with heart and lung diseases, children and older adults are the most likely to be affected by particle pollution exposure. Well, why are they testing this? Look, it's totally nuts. The only important thing here is that EPA says any exposure, any non-zero exposure can be deadly. Now, outdoor air has about 10 millionths of a gram per cubic meter of PM2.5. But EPA, the 58-year-old woman who had to go to the hospital, they exposed her to 10 times that amount, 112 micrograms. Their experiments with diesel exhaust, they exposed people to 300 micrograms. Some of the human experiments go up to 600 micrograms. In one case where the equipment malfunctioned, they exposed them to 750. That's 75 times the amount of PM2.5 that's in the air. So let's just refresh. Any exposure to PM is lethal. Lethality can occur within hours. PM kills hundreds of thousands of people annually at outdoor levels. Old and sick are especially vulnerable. What does EPA tell the study subjects? It's human guinea pigs? Well, read. During the exposure to concentrated air pollution particles, you may experience some minor degree of airway irritation, cough, and shortness of breath or wheezing. These symptoms will disappear 2 to 4 hours after exposure. Well, what happened to the death? We're supposed to be dying. This is your regulatory, EPA, right? Now, this is the interesting part. Why is EPA experimenting with PM2.5 on humans? Well, their claims about PM2.5 killing hundreds of thousands of people, all based on statistics. But in a court case with me, EPA admitted that their statistics don't prove anything. They've tried animal toxicology. They take these poor mice, they stick them in these tubes and force incredible amounts of particulate matter down their lungs. Can't kill them. Not one. The statistics don't really show that PM2.5 kills anybody, so we need to develop medical and biological explanations. So EPA is trying to hurt people to validate its regulatory agenda. Okay, I mean, I find it hard to say they're trying to kill people, but what else can you say? I mean, they tell everybody that there's no safe level of exposure, yet that's exactly what they're doing. And they're exposing people, they say, who are most vulnerable, the old, the young, and the sick. This is where I started with this. If PM2.5 is as deadly as EPA says it is, okay, then it has committed felonies in the states where it has conducted these experiments because the doctors failed to give disclosure, and they're fundamentally unethical and illegal because you can't treat people like guinea pigs. You can't try to kill people or hurt people for regulatory purposes. The only way EPA doesn't have this liability is if PM2.5 is not as harmful as they claim it is, in which case they've been lying to everybody else. So which is it, EPA? There's no third option.
Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our channel and consider donating to the Heartland Institute to support more vibrant free markets, greater individual liberty, and more videos like this one.